So, you've heard hundreds of people talk about Bali. Bali is great, Bali is shit, move here, don't move here, there's too much traffic, too much garbage, etc., etc., etc. Today, I want to give you guys an example of a simple/normal day of life here in Bali. No fancy waterfalls, no monkeys, no amazing cliffside resorts and beach bars, just a day. Why did me and Felicia stay here after initially we were only supposed to have a couple of weeks? And what makes Bali such an awesome place to live and work? Let's go. Now, like I mentioned, I want to keep today as basic as I normally would while breaking down some of the costs and some of my thoughts along the way. Personally, I'm not much of a breakfast guy, but I am definitely a coffee guy. So let's go get a cup of joe. Now, me and Felicia are here this morning at Tribal, which is one of the many co-working spaces across the Canggu, Seminyak sort of area. But if co-working spaces aren't really your style, then you've also got about 1,000 cafes to choose from, like this one, or 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 this one. You get the point. The options are endless. So this coffee cost $3.50 New Zealand dollars, or about $2 US. But what that gets you is 3 hours of time to use all of this place's facilities. You can hang out by the pool, you can use their super fast Wi-Fi. They've got little booths that you can have meetings with clients or anything along those lines. Also, if you're in the mood for a bit of breakfast, they've got an all-day brunch menu. Basically, the more you spend, the more time you get to use this place. So it's pretty amazing because all the money you're actually spending just goes towards somewhat like a membership here. Instead of just paying money outright, you're actually getting value back while you're using their facilities, which is really, really cool. But this brings me to point number one about why we decided to stay more longer term in Bali. This is kind of a hard one to explain, but Bali is full of people who are looking for a better lifestyle and chasing that dream of living and working abroad. Unlike a lot of other countries in Asia I've traveled to, where most of the people you meet just have a backpack and they're gone in either 2 days to a week, everyone seems like-minded and excited about what they're doing. It's just a very unique situation with such a high condensed amount of people doing a similar thing. And that might not be for you, but if you do want to meet other people who are like-minded, maybe doing some jobs you've never even heard of, but might spark your interest, that's what makes Bali really, really cool. Or at least one of the reasons. Bye. One of the other things that makes daily life in Bali fantastic is these puppies. Yes, they can be dangerous, but as long as you wear your helmet and don't drive like a maniac, you'll be fine. But Bali is literally made for scooters. I don't care what anyone says. You've got all these little shortcuts, as they call them here, through the rice paddies, very thin little roads, and yes, there can be traffic during some parts of the day. But someone please tell me a country where that's not the case. It's loads of fun, so freeing, and as a daily commuter, I would much rather be zipping around on one of these than sitting in a car on a highway in gridlock traffic. And now for one of my favorite parts of the day, the gym. Now, this isn't my favorite part of the day because I want to be a buff Instagram model or anything. No, this is my favorite part of the day strictly because they have an ice bath. Avenue Fitness, the gym I go to, costs me about $4 New Zealand per day, which, to be completely honest, is actually pretty pricey when comparing to the other gyms around, but also even in Western countries. There are a lot of options when it comes to gyms here these days though, ranging anywhere from $1 a day, maybe even less, to $4 or $5 a day, which is what I pay. So if you like turning yourself into a popsicle, like me, followed by thawing out in the sauna, then it might just be worth the hefty price tag. This leads me to my next point about why we love it so much here. You can live off literally any budget or any amount that suits you best. Okay, well, not any amount, but you can live off very little. If you want to eat out at fancy cafes every day, go to super nice restaurants and eat fancy food, and go to fancy beach clubs on the cliffs, yeah, it's gonna be pretty expensive. But if you're like us and you like to eat local and you buy your beers by the crate from suppliers and maybe you just surf every day, Bali can literally accommodate to any budget, whether it's $10 a day or $1,000 a day. You're gonna be able to have a great time or find things that suit your needs and your budget. Speaking of smaller budgets, let's go grab some food at one of the dozens of local warungs around the area. So I'm here now at Warung Lima Rasa. It's going to be very noisy because the main road is right here. But for any of you who've watched my previous videos, you'll know that me and Felicia eat at these places 1, 2, sometimes 3 times a day. The food is fantastic and it is just unbelievably good value for money. 2 of my favorite warungs were closed today because tomorrow is actually a national public holiday. But, ooh, it's bright. But I've heard really good things about this place, so let me take you in and show you how it all works. So for those of you who don't know what a warung is, it's a local restaurant where they display all the delicious food they've cooked that morning for you to pick and choose what you want to have with either rice or noodles or whatever suits you. Traditionally, these places would cook everything in the morning, and then once it was all eaten, that would be it. But now, since these spots are attracting a lot more tourists, they actually cook a lot more throughout the day, which means that the food you're also getting is quite fresh most of the time, which is amazing. All right, so everything you just saw me order there, including a drink, cost me 45,000 Indonesian rupiah, $4.50 New Zealand, or about $2 US. Now, if you were to eat at one of the dozens, if not maybe hundreds of warungs that are around, well, geez, in Bali, there'd be thousands. But if you were to eat at one of these places for 3 meals a day, let's even say, on average, you're probably gonna be looking at paying around the same as me, 50,000 to sometimes even as cheap as 30,000. 3 meals a day, the most you're gonna be paying to eat out all day is $15. Now, if you're thinking, oh, that food's been sitting out in the cabinet all day, gross, blah, blah, blah. Don't get trapped into thinking local food isn't the best. I mean, to be fair, all the food here in Bali is fantastic. But yeah, just don't get trapped into thinking local food is lower quality, because it most certainly is not. All right, now that we have a belly full of delicious Indonesian food, let's go do what any reasonable person with a full stomach does. Go walk some dogs. this is only about half the dogs.
It's the jealous one. Like, troublemaker. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You know that.
What do you think?
Yes, I know you're troublemaker. Yeah, you look like that.
So this place is called Little Steps Matter. They have this house, which is a beautiful big house, where they house about 19 rescue dogs, and they have one other location that they have another 14 at, so total of 30-something odd dogs. I'm really bad at math. But basically, the dogs here are the ones that were in kind of the worst condition, because there is hundreds of stray dogs in Bali, of course, and so these ones were in really, really rough shape. They've brought them here, obviously sterilized them, immunized them, just cleaned them up, and now all these dogs are super healthy, seem super happy and friendly.
Very happy.
Living their best lives. Obviously, it is super nice to see all these dogs who were once street dogs looking great, having a great life, but the sad reality is, he was saying, like, they went out and fed, or daily they go out and feed like 100 to 150 dogs on the street, so they do their part. They only look after sort of one area, and then there's other organizations that do their best to look after other areas. But yeah, some of these dogs, you know, were abused and every horrible thing you could imagine under the sun, but really, really, really cool to see places like this that exist here. Now that I've got some slobber on my camera lens, it's time to go for a bit of a walk. How many are you gonna take, Felicia? Like 6?
6? I handle 2, but or 2 or 3 at most.
This should be fun.
Perfect. We need a small, little one. Yes.
They know exactly what time it is.
I only have one.
So excited, so excited. Oh, it's okay. So besides these super lovely walks, they obviously take them on every day. Unfortunately, in Bali, there really isn't any like dog parks here, or just parks in general, really. Most free land is used up by farms and rice paddies, etc. They do like to take them to the beach a couple times a week, maybe, where they can actually just run around and go nuts and live their best lives. But really, really nice area to walk around here. Very beautiful. So now all the good girls are just eagerly awaiting for dinner that's being prepared for them. On the menu tonight, we got some rice, some chicken, some vitamins, bit of dry food for the teeth, all the good stuff. These dogs eat better than I do. Yum, yum, yum.
Wait.
So now that all the lovely doggos are fed, I'm here with Sabine, who is the owner of the place, this amazing place. You guys got this place 6 months ago, yeah?
4 months ago.
4 months
only,
ago.
Yes.
So brand new, but there's another house that you normally kept them all at, yeah?
My own house.
Your own house?
Yes.
That's where you kept them all?
I have 14 at home, and I just couldn't take any more. That's why we started the safe house.
Had to get another one. Amazing. Well, this place is super lovely. Check them out on Instagram. Her son Andre also helps her run the place, and he was telling me they have some amazing stories of dogs they've rescued who were in really rough shape. And as you can see, all of these dogs are super healthy and really happy. So yeah, have a look. It is
Little Steps Matter.
Little Steps Matter. Check them out. Thank you so much for having us. It's been amazing.
Thank you for coming.
Really, really lovely place. My goodness, what a day. We ended up getting back quite late last night. We actually left Little Steps Matter and went straight to the beach to meet with some friends, to have a couple beers and shoot the shit. But what an incredible experience. That was probably one of the coolest things we've done since we've gotten to Bali. It's just mind-blowing how some people dedicate so much of their life to helping others, or in this case, really sweet, innocent dogs. I suppose that leads me to my final thought about why we decided to stay here in Bali and just why we love it so much here in general. There is always so much to do. It almost feels like a big city in terms of activities and places to go and places to see, but still keeps that sort of small town vibe. When you've been working hard all day, a lot of the times we want to go out and do fun stuff afterwards. There's always a new restaurant to eat at, there's always a new cool bar to check out, there's a new beach, there's things like what we've just done, there's lots of organizations that are always looking for people to join them and help them, volunteer. We actually found out about this place through one of the people we stay with at this homestay, and it's just things like that that make living and working here on a daily basis that much more enjoyable. So that's it. Hopefully you guys got a bit of an idea of what a normal day is like here in Bali. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.